GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good night, Montreal.
Brendan Gallagher will be named an honorary citizen of the city today, a ceremony set for this afternoon at City Hall. The 14-season veteran of the Canadiens, who submitted a trade request earlier this week, is receiving the distinction as a nod to his long-standing contribution on the ice. Mayor Sorja Martinez Ferrada will present the honor, joining representatives from the club and city officials. Gallagher, a native of the island and fan favorite, has spent his entire professional career in the black and white jersey before seeking a new destination. The honorary citizenship tradition, reserved for individuals who have markedly enriched the community, will add his name to a short list that includes past athletes, artists, and civic leaders. The ceremony will be followed by a brief press conference where Gallagher is expected to thank supporters and discuss his next steps.
City officials say the municipality is keeping roughly 60 outdoor pools open for public use throughout the summer. The network spreads across every borough, from the historic Old Port splash pads to the community facilities in Plateau Montreal, Myland, Verdun, and the East End districts. Each site offers free or low-cost entry, lifeguard-supervised lanes and family-friendly areas, and many feature wheelchair-accessible ramps. The program aims to give residents a safe place to cool off during the warm months while encouraging healthy activity. Maintenance crews have been rotating chemicals and checking filtration systems daily to meet health standards. Families and athletes alike can expect consistent water quality and staff supervision at each location until the season winds down in early September. The schedule began in late May, keeping most pools open through the first weekend of September, with splash zones for kids at Jean Talon and Park Extension.
Quebec's Ministry of Transport announced an international call for interest in a third crossing linking Quebec City with Lévis across the St. Lawrence River. The request, issued on Thursday, invites firms worldwide to submit proposals for a new bridge or tunnel, slated for consideration ahead of a formal tender later this year. Officials say the additional link aims to relieve congestion on the existing two connections and support regional growth on the South Shore. The ministry will evaluate submissions through a transparent process, with a deadline expected in early 2027. Stakeholders in both municipalities have welcomed the prospect, citing potential economic benefits and improved emergency access. The call for proposals opens on August 10, 2026, and marks the province's first effort to attract global expertise for this critical and major infrastructure project.
2,153 households across Quebec still lack a dwelling as the province prepares for the July 1st start of the new rental year. The Fédération des Associations de Locataires du Québec warned that rising vacancy rates are intensifying the housing shortage. FRAPRU says the figure reflects families, seniors and individuals still waiting for affordable units, even as landlords report more openings. Officials say the upcoming rental calendar could pressure both tenants and property owners to negotiate quickly. Housing advocates urge the government to accelerate measures that increase supply and protect renters before the new lease cycle begins. City officials in Montreal are meeting landlords to discuss short-term relief measures. The organization will release a detailed report next week outlining the gaps and recommending policy steps to address the shortfall.
Earlier today, members of the Venezuelan diaspora across Quebec organized a coordinated relief drive for victims of the twin earthquakes that struck Venezuela. Volunteers gathered at community centers in the Plateau, Myland, and Park Extension, sorting donations of food, water, and medical supplies. Local churches and cultural associations opened their doors, and a digital petition circulated to secure additional funding from provincial authorities. By late afternoon, more than 2,000 kilograms of aid had been assembled and prepared for transport to Caracas and regional shelters. Organizers emphasized the urgency of reaching families displaced by the seismic events, noting that the quakes left thousands without shelter or basic necessities. The effort reflects a broader pattern of diaspora communities mobilizing quickly after overseas disasters, leveraging existing networks to deliver assistance where it is most needed.
Coming up, the Free Jazz Festival drew a massive crowd, and we'll check tonight's weather. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's dive into what's happening around town. Rachel, take us through the local stories.
Free jazz concerts are set to fill the streets this weekend, as the Montreal Jazz Festival rolls out 10 complimentary outdoor shows. Among them, the avant-garde trio Angle de Poitrine will take the stage Saturday night, delivering a lively set that promises to draw a sizable crowd. Festival organizers highlight that the free series has become a staple of the summer calendar, offering residents a chance to enjoy world-class talent without a ticket price. Last year's open-air performances attracted thousands, and officials expect similar numbers this year, reinforcing the event's role as a communal gathering point. For anyone planning an evening out, the Saturday concert provides an accessible option, with food vendors and nearby transit making it easy to join the celebration. Music lovers can also explore nearby art installations that the festival has set up along the boulevard, adding visual flair to the auditory experience.
Hydro-Quebec has issued an urgent warning after a sharp rise in fraudulent emails that pretend to be the utility and ask recipients to wire money. The emails mimic official branding, often referencing recent bill payments or service interruptions, and include links that lead to counterfeit payment portals. Residents who receive such messages are urged to verify any request by contacting Hydro-Quebec directly through the official website or phone line, and never to click unfamiliar links or share banking details. The utility says the scam is spreading rapidly across the city, targeting both residential and business accounts. Authorities stress that legitimate notices from Hydro-Quebec are delivered through secure channels and never demand immediate cash transfers via email. Staying vigilant can protect households from losing hard-earned money to these deceptive schemes and keep their families safe.
Yesterday, historian Genevieve Pronavost announced that the first 7 streets of the city were named according to a 17th-century plan devised by missionary François Dollier de Casson and the Sulpicians. Her research shows the original orthogonal grid was laid out to streamline movement toward the future Notre Dame Cathedral, and each street name reflects that logistical purpose. The findings explain why familiar avenues such as St. Paul, St. Jacques, and others retain their historic labels, tying today's navigation to a design intended to ease parishioner travel. Residents walking these corridors now traverse the same pattern envisioned over 300 years ago. Pronavost's work adds depth to local heritage, reminding commuters that the city's layout was a deliberate effort to serve a central place of worship. The Municipal archives will incorporate the explanations into upcoming heritage tour and school curricula.
Yesterday, a Montreal couple discovered that rebooking their Air Canada flight to take advantage of a 25% discount actually left them paying more. The pair switched to a later departure hoping the promotion would lower their fare, but the airline's dynamic pricing system raised the base fare after the discount was applied. As a result, the new tickets cost slightly above the original price they had paid. Pricing experts explain that airlines constantly adjust fares in real time, and a discount can be offset by a higher underlying fare. The incident has added to calls for clearer fare disclosure, as travelers struggle to understand how advertised savings translate into final costs. Air Canada confirmed the transaction followed its standard pricing algorithm, and the couple is now reviewing their options today.
An ex-military Quebec resident entered a guilty plea on June 23 for 7 of 11 firearms-related offenses. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police disclosed that the charges stem from an arrest made in 2025 during a terrorism-linked probe that also involved 3 other men. Prosecutors said the defendant had illegally possessed several restricted weapons and controlled materials while still serving in the armed forces. The plea eliminates a protracted trial and will lead to sentencing at a later date, though details remain pending. Authorities emphasize that the case underscores ongoing efforts to intercept illicit arms networks. Families of the 3 co-accused are awaiting further legal steps, and the RCMP continues to monitor any related investigations. The investigation, launched after weapon shipments were traced, prompted a review of security protocols in the forces. Police said the 3 accomplices each face multiple offenses and will appear in court soon.
Now let's get a look at tonight's forecast with our meteorologist for Montreal.
A southwest jet stream carving a trough forces unsettled pressure, delivering late evening rain across Montreal tonight. On this date, Montreal once burned to 30.2 degrees Celsius in 2016, a brief spike during a lingering heat wave that pushed daily normals into the high 20s. The coldest reading fell to 11.3 degrees Celsius in 2015, a sharp dip that arrived with a sudden Arctic front after an unusually warm early June. Today's climatological average hovers around 23 degrees for the high and 16 for the low, framing this year's swing between those extremes. The live radar now shows a narrow band of moderate rain hugging the St. Lawrence corridor, centered just west of the island. It is moving eastward at roughly 20 kilometers per hour, steered by the southwest jet stream at 90 kilometers per hour aloft. The core will brush downtown Montreal within the next 15 minutes and should exit the region by midnight, leaving a clear sky thereafter. At 11 p.m., the city sits under a thick overcast veil with a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a dew point of 16, giving a humid feel of 71%. A gentle southwest wind blows at 7 kilometers per hour, but gusts may climb to 19 from the south as the low-pressure system deepens. The jet stream overhead races at 90 kilometers per hour from the southwest, dragging a trough that will keep the atmosphere unsettled through the night. Despite the lingering cloud cover, no rain is expected and the sky will stay mostly cloudy until sunrise. The UV index registers 4, though daylight is limited. No weather alerts are in force. Ahead, Friday brings a high of 22 degrees and a low of 15 under overcast skies, with a 35% chance of rain as the lingering trough nudges a weak frontal band eastward. Saturday clears dramatically, offering sunshine and a pleasant high of 25 with a low of 15, thanks to a building ridge that will push the jet stream north. Sunday stays dry and sunny, reaching 26 at the peak and easing to 18 overnight as the ridge strengthens. Monday returns to overcast, high 26, low 18, as the ridge flattens and moisture drifts from the Gulf. Tuesday ends workweek with another overcast stretch, high 27, low 20, and a 30% rain probability as next shortwave arrives. Temperature swings stay modest, but the pattern shifts from unsettled to more stable by the weekend. And that's your weather. Remember, the wrap is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Next, traffic updates, today's event lineup, and a hockey preview as Carey Price enters the Hall of Fame. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
And now here's Jason with sports.
Big honors for two Canadiens legends. Here is what you need to know. Brendan Gallagher is now more than a Canadiens forward. He is officially a citizen of the city he has played for his entire career. Montreal presented Gallagher with honorary citizenship at a ceremony at City Hall Thursday afternoon, one of the highest civilian honors the city can bestow. Carey Price is headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Canadiens' goaltending great was elected to the 2026 class alongside Patrice Bergeron, Pekka Rinne, Keith Tkachuk, and Cindy Curley. The announcement came earlier this week, cementing Price's legacy as one of the finest to ever play the position. On the women's side, the PWHL has released the selection order for its 2026 draft, set to take place in 2 days. Sportsnet reports the announcement gives teams and fans a clearer picture of how draft day will unfold.
Standing on the polished court inside the Bell Center, the hum of a packed arena softened as a group of almost 100 girls in bright sneakers lined up, their jerseys a kaleidoscope of pinks, blues, and greens. They're here because Toronto Tempo, with the backing of Canadian Tire, has opened its doors to a 3-on-3 women's basketball tryout, a chance for young Montreal players to showcase the talent that's fueling the sport's rise across Canada. You can hear the squeak of shoes on hardwood as the first drill begins, a fast break drill that turns the massive arena into a neighborhood gym, the echo of a ball thudding against the rim punctuated by laughter and the occasional gasp when a shot swishes clean. One player, 14-year-old Maya, pauses, eyes bright, and tells her coach she's never felt more seen, more part of something bigger than a school team. When the final whistle blows, the coaches gather the girls, handing each a commemorative wristband, a small token that says they belong to a community that believes in their dreams. It's a simple moment, but the pride radiating from those faces shows the power of opportunity. We'll keep watching this city's passion for sport grow, one court at a time.
On a Saturday morning in the Plateau neighborhood, a community center on Rue Saint-Denis became a gathering point for fans of the Montreal Victoire. Women in red scarves, children with posters, and a retired schoolteacher who once taught Poulin on the rink's edge filled the hallway, each waiting for the brief statement that the team's captain, Marie-Philippe Poulin, will undergo knee surgery in July. The center's glass doors opened to reveal a hallway lined with photographs of Poulin's championship moments, the most recent showing her lifting gold medal at World Championship, her smile unbroken even as a bandage now covers her knee. A baker handed out maple glazed donuts shaped like hockey pucks, and a teenage player whispered, "When she's back, we'll be ready." The moment that lifted the room came when the team's physiotherapist, Dr. Levesque, stepped forward, his voice steady, and said the procedure has a 99% success rate and will allow her to return stronger. The crowd answered with a chorus of "We've got you," echoing through building. It's a reminder that a city's love for its heroes can turn a medical setback into shared promise of comeback.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the wrap. Tonight's highlight was Brendan Gallagher being named an honorary citizen, a reminder of the city's spirit. We appreciate your attention and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. Stay curious, stay safe, and see you then.